started about a year ago in September. Started with the Mandela effect, and of course everything I found led me to, I don't know, cynical shit, like negative energy type shit, CERN and the Hadron Collider and all that bullshit. And I ran across this dude named Case Parks on Everyday Masters video called Mandella, You Can't Handle the Truth. And that thing struck a chord with me, and I don't know, the dude nailed it, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not so much as what I needed to hear, it's when I heard it, I knew it was the truth, just shit made sense, because things had been happening. But anyway, this is going to be my first vlog, I guess you could say. I've been wanting to do this for a while, I've been thinking about it, haven't pulled the trigger, been, I don't know, fucking just worried about being a dumbass, looking like a dumbass, and waiting, until I can step up my editing game and get better at that. And I'm like, I ain't fucking waiting, man. I'm gonna put the shit on here, and it is what it is, it is what it is. But I'm gonna go through this thing, and I'm gonna kind of document, kind of give you all the real tip, the real deal on it. I don't know the dude. This will be the first time meeting him, so I'm not gonna bullshit anybody. Why would I spend money like that on something like that? I'm actually going to go into I'm going to have another video that's going to go deeper into what's happened to me, but like I say, back in September, some shit happened. It was on my birthday, September 30th. I got a phone call that morning. My favorite uncle, who's been like a dad to me, he blew his brains out. He had a brain tumor that was just hurting him bad, and I don't know if you ever seen the movie Goodfellas or Sopranos, shit like that. He was one of those kind of guys, he was like, I'm safe now, I can say something, you know what I mean? If I'd ever said anything before, who knows what would happen, but he's gone, so I can go ahead and say that, Anyway, long story short, man, he had a brain tumor that grew bad. He was in pain every day. Every day he got up, he said it was the worst day of his life. And they sent him to the Cleveland Clinic a couple times. They've sent him to 5 different doctors. There was nothing they could do about it. They just couldn't help him. He was going blind, and he was getting dizzy, and he was just in excruciating pain, and I knew he would, he always lived by the gun. I knew he would go out that way. I just knew he would. But anyway, I got the call. That was the beginning of some shit for me on my birthday. Well, later on, I get a phone call. My dad went up there. About 11 o'clock that night, I get a phone call from my sister, and she's like, have you seen Dad, And so Dad's missing in action. It's only an hour and a half away from here. My dad's 72 years old. He left there at like 2:30 or 3. Should have done been home. It's 11 o'clock at night. Nobody's seen or heard from him. So I'm calling state police and hospitals and all this bullshit, right? And put an Amber Alert out on him, or whatever you call it. Not Amber, Silver, Platinum, or whatever you call it. Silver Alert, I guess you call it. And so, didn't hear anything. Finally got to sleep 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning, pounding on my door. I'm like, I thought it was the state police, but it was my son. I've got kids, or my sons, they're 30-something years old, acting like fucking kids in a bar. He comes, his face is all swollen up. He got stolen by some biker, which he banged the dude's old lady. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? But at the time, he's felt like he got sucker punched. He's wanting to go fucking after this dude. I'm about to kill him. I'm like, you get your ass home, boy, you know what I mean, type of thing. Which he did. He went home. But next morning, so I drive up to my uncle's. Like I say, it's an hour and a half away. And spend the day with the family. And was just getting ready to split. And my cousin Christina, she's from Texas. She came out from Texas. I told everybody bye and blah, 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 this and that. But anyway, I put my hand on her shoulder, and she put her hand on my hand and said, hey, Billy, before you leave, have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? And I'm like, do what? The what? She said, the Mandela effect. She's like, have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? You know, people with alternative memories. She's asked me if I remember what Darth Vader said to Luke, you know, Luke, I am your father, and then the Queen song at the end, and what else? So a couple other trivial, you know, things, whatever. Now I'm trying to get out of there. It's late at night. I'm done been there all fucking day, and everybody's, you know, my energy's drained. And I'm like, wow, that sounds crazy, you know, and I didn't go into detail with her, so I split, and I come home. Next morning, I call my brother. I'm like, hey, man, did Christina say anything to you about this thing called, I thought it was Mozart, or I knew it started with the M and it was somebody famous, Mozart effect or somebody? He's like, no, what, you know, because me and him think along the same lines. And so anyway, I call her. I call back up and I'm like, what are you talking about? Mozart effect? Or what is it? What is this thing? She said, no, the Mandela effect, the Mandela effect. So, of course, I call him back. I said, she called it the Mandela effect. I said, I'm going to go on here and check some. She said, it's all over YouTube. So I go on YouTube, and of course, it's on there. And, you know, for that week, I was tripping out, dude. I'm, you know, like, just, this shit's blowing my mind. And nobody else, my family members, nobody except for my brother is getting it. You know, he's having the same memories as me. Like I say, 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, and he texts me. He's like, "Man, have you seen the Kennedy car?" You know, and all this shit here. It's got me kind of boggled and whatnot. But he said, "You seen the Kennedy car?" I'm like, "Do what?" And he says, "Have you seen the Kennedy car?" He said, "It's a 6-seater now." He said, "There's fucking 6 people in this motherfucker." I'm like, "There's no way," because Kennedy is like, you know, I was born in '63, just a month before he was killed. My wife was born right after he was killed. And I was always fascinated by that shit, conspiracy shit, and gangsters and conspiracy shit, man. I've been all over it since I was a kid. And so I go on there and just my mind is blowed. Now I'm freaking the fuck out because this is something I know for absolute certainly. Just, you know, everything else I was thinking maybe I misunderstood it, or maybe I, you know, this, that, or the other thing, which I never even have ever seen Star Wars. I was one of those kids that if everybody else did it, I never did it, you know what I mean? I never seen Grease, I never seen Star Wars because everybody else was into it, and I was like, you know, I was rebellious. But I had seen all the parodies. I'd seen, you know, Tommy Boy, I think he says, "Luke, I am your father," or something. I've just seen it, you know, I've seen it a million times. And I've probably even seen clips of it on shit. But anyway. And then the Queen song, I was almost certain about that. And then the Ford emblem, I was certain about that. But this here, Kennedy thing, dude, I was absolute 100% certain about it. So now I'm tripping balls, right? So I'm freaking out. And everything I'm seeing is like such negative energy, sinister, you know, just bad. And then, like I said, I ran across Case and the video You Can't Handle the Truth, and he shed a whole new light on it, you know, that some of us are on a higher frequency now. Some of us have literally, our vibration, our frequency has raised along with the earth has too. And we've shifted into an alternate reality, you know. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm like, you know, this shit's fucking crazy, you know what I mean? But you know, he kind of put the spin on it that all the people he knew, you know, they're good people. And I know I'm a good guy. I know that, you know, my conscience is I'm just one of these kind of people, man. I don't know. I'm just a pretty good guy, I guess. And my brother, he's a pretty good guy, you know. And so I'm buying into that shit, you know. I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe it's certain people, you know, good people. I don't know. But anyway, it was a lot better than the negative shit. But so things are starting to happen. He talks about and you edited the shit out of that first video, didn't you?
Yeah, the one Mandela effect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You went and cut some more off, and then went and cut some more off, and now.
Yeah.
So I go back and watch it, I'm like, and there's another thing.
Oh, no. No, I had somebody else say that. No, once I edited, it's done.
Dude, it's changed.
Because
I've seen probably the original version of shit. Because the one that's on there now, I don't think you say anything about all this shit that it's happening to all my buddies and shit. They're good people. You're talking about how they're good people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's on this.
It's not,
yeah.
Yeah.
But
they are good people.
Yeah, but you said that on the first one before you cut it out, dude, and I fucking watched it. Is that weird?
That is weird, because it does resonate, because that's something I would say.
If you go back